Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Like always, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, make sure you get notified. Some people aren't getting notified, so make sure you hit that notification button so when we got a video that comes out, you get it. Definitely want to give a big shout out today to Chance Cox, Misty, Jake, and Goffy. They all signed up for our exclusive content. You can hit that button on the front of the page, sign up. Be a part of what we put out each week that's exclusive. Don't miss out. It's optional, but definitely want people to know that we appreciate you supporting the channel. We're almost at 5,000. We got some autographed books we're going to be shooting out to people. So excited about that. Make sure you leave a comment and make sure you share the video. You know it's real, you know it's raw. So today, let's talk about victims. How do people become victims? How are they victimized in prison? You know, this is something that goes on every day. Prison is a dog-eat-dog world. It's like a machine. It will chew you up and spit you out. I can honestly say in places like Big Sandy, only the strong survive. And sometimes even the strong get chewed up and spit out. Sometimes they become victims. So we're going to talk about that, man. Talk about some of the people that I've seen become victims. We're going to talk about a dude that I was actually in USP Lee with. He used to live in the cell next to me. And he became a victim. He became a victim over a cell. He was from California. He was a bulldog. Real name was Herman. And he was there with some Norteños. And there was only 7 or 8 Norteños. Some of them dudes had come from Big Sandy after that riot with BAM. And the Norteños were on the yard. They had a cell that was open. A bulldog came. Bulldog gang member out of California. You know, they don't usually get along in the state from what I heard. But for some odd reason, they run together in the feds. Bulldogs run with the Norteños. But really, the Bulldogs fall under the Norteños, and Norteños are their bosses. Like they shot call them. They boss them around. So Herman used to live in the cell next to me. He used to talk to me all the time, man. I used to have a little store. He'd buy sodas. And he used to talk to me, and he started telling me about how the Norteños were trying to push him out of his cell. They didn't want him in the cell. He wasn't allowed to have a knife because he was under their reign. They couldn't trust him. And keeping it real, man, them Norteño dudes are pretty militant, man. Pretty strong, pretty militant. Don't play games, handle their business. So anybody that knows the Norteños, the Northerners, man, you know that they get busy too. Southsiders watching this video might not like me saying that, but it is what it is, man. They get busy. There's some tough guys in every group, right? So anyway, Herman became a victim, man. Herman became a victim. He was in the unit with 2 other Norteños. Really, they put him in the cell because they didn't have anyone to hold down the cell, and they own the cell. You know, in prison, people own cells. That sounds crazy, right? Like, this is a white cell, or this is a Mexican cell, this is a black cell, this is a Crip cell, this is a blood cell. I mean, just kind of known, man, among staff and prisoners. And, you know, if you come off the bus and you go in this cell, and it's a black cell and you're white, well, your homeboys are going to get you out of that cell as soon as possible. Usually, man, people will be like, yeah, we understand, man. Try to get them out in the next 2 or 3 days. And your homeboys will find a cell for you to go into. So Herman had came to this prison, and he ended up going in a cell. And I remember this pretty vividly. He went into a cell with a Puerto Rican dude when he came right off the bus. And the Puerto Rican dudes kind of wanted him out of the cell. You know, he was a bulldog. He met up with the Norteños. They're like, yo, look, bro, we got a cell right here. You're going to hold this cell down. Whatever. So like I said, man, Herman used to talk to me, tell me, man, these dudes, man, are trying to boss me around, bro. You know, we don't run with them in the state, homie, I'm a bulldog. You know, I ain't going for this bullshit, that type of thing. And he was pretty pissed off that the Norteños told him that he couldn't have a knife. But he got a knife anyway. So there came a point where he was kind of bucking the system, right? The Norteños were like, yo, look, dude, you know what, man, you're going to get out of that cell. And he was bucking back. He's like, man, I ain't leaving the cell. So this was on Halloween. They had called him out. They wanted him to come out to the yard. They wanted to have a meeting. They wanted to talk about the cell. And this was on the Chow move. So when they call Chow in federal prison, man, you can go to Chow. When your house gets called, you can walk into the mess hall, or you could just go straight to the yard. We were like the 2nd or 3rd house to get called. We go to the yard. I happened to go out there that day. I got some real bad news from home. Usually I don't go out on the Chow move, and I'm just walking by myself. Usually don't walk by myself in prison either. This is in USP Lee, so I'm walking. And I see Herman out there. I see a little group of dudes. I see him talking. And then I see someone come up behind him and stab him. They stabbed him. They kept stabbing him. He had one of those jackets on. It was a little chilly. We're in USP Lee, Jonesville, Virginia. It's cold out. He's got his prison khaki jacket on. And they're stabbing this dude, man. Dude in the gun tower, he's not looking. There's only 30 people on the yard. He's not paying attention to what's going on. But Herman's getting stabbed, trying to fight back. Don't work out, man. He's full of blood. I do a round. I come back around. And he tells me, Chad, man, help me, man, help me. And the only thing I could tell Herman was, and I'm talking about this dude was full of blood, man. One of the worst things I ever seen in prison, man. And I just tell him, man, I said, man, I can't help you, man. Just go to the shack, bro. Try to get medical attention, man. Go to the shack. And I kept it low because I'm not trying to have these dudes stab me too. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here alone right now. My back's against the wall. And really, man, it ain't my business. And unfortunately, in prison, man, if it ain't your business, then it ain't your business. You don't get involved. You know, no matter how cool we are, he's in a different car. I can't help that dude, man. Even if I wanted to help him, I couldn't help him. You know, you stick to your own. You stick to your business. Your business is your business. His business is his. And of course, he used to share his business with me because I lived right next door to him and I knew his story. I knew what was going on. I didn't know that Herman was getting stabbed that night. But let me tell you about how they operate. Let me tell you how they stabbed him, man. They had two dudes out there jogging. They're jogging, doing a couple laps. Herman's meeting with these dudes. They're in a talk. Someone stabs him from behind. But them same two dudes are still jogging. And some of these dudes that were in USP Lee, if you're watching this video, you might remember this. The two Norteño dudes are jogging. These dudes are stabbing the hell out of this dude. As soon as they get done stabbing them, the dudes are still jogging. They throw the knives to these two dudes that are jogging. They catch the knives. They keep jogging the track. They get over to the drain. They drop the knives in the drain. So Herman makes it to the shack, man, stumbling to the shack. Like I said, I've never seen this much blood, man. I've been in prison a long time, seen a lot of bad things. But this was one of the most brutal stabbings I ever seen, man. He makes it to the shack. Next thing I know, the captain comes out on the yard. They hit the sirens, tell everybody get on the ground. I hear the captain screaming, "Who the fuck is in the tower? I want to know who's in that goddamn tower right now." Because the guard in the tower with the gun, he's supposed to be watching the yard. He might have been taking a nap. The captain was furious, and I think he was furious because when he seen Herman, he probably thought he was about to die. And you know, that kind of goes on their record, man, when people die on their watch. He didn't want Herman to die on his watch, to die on his yard. But it looked like Herman was going to die. Stabbed him in the face, stabbed him in the back, stabbed him in the head, stabbed him in the neck. All over a cell, man. Herman became a victim. Because you know what? He didn't play his cards right, man. He probably knew in his heart, man, he had been in prison in California. He knew in his heart that he was bucking the system, man. That he was trying to tell the Norteños that he was going to stay in that cell and do what he wanted to do. And the Norteños weren't going for it, man. But Herman, he didn't lose his life on that yard, man. He lived. But what the captain did was he rounded up all the Norteños, put them in the shoe, and put them on a bus. And shipped them all over the place. Got rid of all of them. Got rid of their whole car. That's how cars, you know, get taken off yards. Stuff like that. They took every one of them dudes off the yard. Anyone that was affiliated with them, gone. But they brought Herman back to the compound. And this is the part that you might laugh about. Because this is kind of funny, right? So Herman lives in the cell next to me. He's got the cell now. It's his cell, right? I mean, he earned it. He's probably stabbed 20, 30 times. He earned the cell. He moves this little Chinese dude in with him. And if anybody was in my unit, man, you're watching this video, man, if you remember this, man, chime in, leave a comment. So check this out, man. Herman comes to me and tells me, "Hey, man, I'm about to beat the hell out of this Chinese dude, man. They're beefing in there. They're having problems after about a month of living together." Tells me he's going to beat the hell out of the Chinese dude. He has a lock on a belt. Tells me he's going to hit him with a lock. And I said, "Hold on, man. It's commissary day tomorrow, man. I got a store. I don't want to lose out, man. Wait, man. Just wait, man. You know, you got to beat up the little Chinese dude?" I said, "You're going to hit this little dude with a lock, man? You only got a couple years, bro, and you're going to hit this dude with a lock?" I'm trying to talk dude out of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like the little Chinese dude. So Herman decides, man, he's not waiting for commissary, but he decides he's not going to hit the Chinese dude with the lock. So the Chinese dude ends up coming back from Unicor. He works in a factory, gets to the top of the stairs, and Herman starts yelling at him and pointing at him in the face. And Herman slaps the Chinese dude. Now, this is a little old man, a little old Chinese guy. And what happened next, man, I couldn't believe it, man. Little Chinese dude, man, brings his right hand back, boom, hits Herman. What do you think happens to Herman? All that tough guy stuff went out the window, man. Herman falls down. The little Chinese dude dropped Herman, man. He dropped him. He gets back up. They start fighting. The Chinese dude drops Herman again. Herman gets up. He tries to throw the Chinese dude down the steps. Chinese dude's flying down the steps. He grabs the railing. Boom. Catches his balance. Gets to the bottom of the steps. And he looks up at the dude. He says, I'm going to fuck you up. And Herman acts like he was going to chase the Chinese dude. Chinese dude runs. He runs into the office. Even though he was winning the fight, man, he runs into the office and he tells the cop. Next thing you know, lockdown. Cops screaming lockdown. We all get locked in. The cop comes out with a bed book. And a bed book in federal prison, man, it's got all of our pictures in there, our numbers, what cell we're in. And the cop asks him, who hit you? And the Chinese guy points at Herman in the book. He says, he hit me. He hit me right here. He hit me. And this is in a penitentiary, man. This is a penitentiary. Man, I'm sorry for laughing, but they come get Herman. They take him out, man. Goes to the hole. Herman ends up coming back out. Chinese dude stays in the hole, gets a transfer. But that was one of the wildest, craziest things I've seen. But Herman had become a victim, man. He tried to victimize someone else, and he became a victim twice. But there's other kinds of victims in prison, too. What kind? A lot of you might not know this, man, but there's armed robberies happening in those places, man. I've seen dudes armed, robbed for their pictures, man. A lot of dudes got pictures of women, and they sell them. And in USP Lee, you weren't allowed to get those pictures no more. So if you had them, man, they were valuable, man. Some dudes were selling pictures for $5, man. Chicks in bikinis. Sometimes there's chicks naked, man. Those pictures were $7, $8 back then. I've seen dudes, man, go in cells and stick dudes up for their pictures, man. I've seen dudes do armed robberies on people's commissary. Me and Dog talked about that briefly. But those are the type of victims, man. Those are the type of people that become victims, man. Can you imagine having your stuff stolen from you, man? Armed robbery. And dudes are downstairs eating your food in front of you and you're starving. I've seen dudes do that, man. Straight suckers, man. And once that happens, they're done, man. They're doomed, man. They're always a victim. So how do you get around being a victim, man? Let me give you another example. Let's say the dirty white boy gang wants to press up on someone, right? Some dude like Alan Stanford comes in, the millionaire celebrity guy, right? So you might have one of the homies, man, bump into him at the microwave. The dude's like, excuse me, man. The dude's like, man, watch where you're walking, bro. That's the intimidation game. You're aggressive right off the jump. And watch what you're doing, man. Watch where you walk. That's the first part. Next time you bump into him in the laundry room, you're pressing him now. This is the press, man. You found the victim, man. He's a prey. You're pressing this dude. You're pressing him because you got a bigger plan, man. You might be trying to extort him. This might be bigger than just taking his commissary. This dude's got money. So people are plotting on him. Next time, dude gives the dude a shove. He's already taken his heart. He ain't going to do nothing. He took his heart. Dude's older. Don't want no problems. He's the perfect victim, man. Perfect prey, man. Federal prison. Next time you give him a shove, tell him, man, I'm going to fuck you up, man. Next time you get in my way, man. Now dude's scared. Two of the homies, I'm just using the dirty white boy gang for an example. Two of the homies go in his cell, man, and say, look, man, I seen dude pressing up on you, man. What's up? You all right? First thing the victim says is, nah, man. Most of the time, nah, man, dude's messing with me for no reason, man. I don't know what's up with this dude, man. I said, well, look, man. Dude, actually, he wants to stab you, man. He wants to kill you, man. But you know what? We're going to help you out. I don't know what you did to the dude or what the dude thinks he did to you, but we're going to help you out, man. This is how it's going to work, man. Me and my partner right here, and usually it's for petty money, man. We're going to make sure you're all right for $1,000 a month, man. And the victim agrees. Please, man. All right, we're going to go talk to that dude, man. We're going to take care of it. So now, it was all part of the plot. They're all going to split $1,000 a month. Dude's going to keep paying, man. He can't check in for real, because if he checks in, he's just going to have them same problems in the next prison. Now he's a check-in. He can't go nowhere. But what should he have done? I'm going to tell you what he should have did, man. Some people might call it a check-in move or whatever. Dude's an old man. Dude bumps into you. Talking about, hey, man, watch where you're walking. If you just bump into me, man, excuse me works. But when you start talking about, hey, man, watch where you're walking, the victim should have punched him in the face right there, man. Let's get it in, man. Win, lose, or draw, let's get it in. Because most people that are trying to victimize a dude or rob him or extort him, they're looking for an easy prey, man. And dudes that fight back are not easy prey. You don't have to be a victim. You don't have to be a victim in Big Sandy or USP Lee or Pollock. You got to fight back. But some of them dudes think, damn, man, if I fight back, man, I might get stabbed, I might die. Well, guess what, man? Unfortunately, that's part of being in prison, man. Unfortunately, that's part of being in prison. Sometimes people die, man. But you know what? I'd rather die with my pride, man. I'd rather die on my feet, man, than live on my knees, man, for real, man. That's what prison is. That's what prison is really like. You think these things don't happen? You know, all these people hear these federal prison stories, think federal prison's a nice place. It's all BS, man. Federal prison is a dangerous place. It's not all drug lords and kingpins and mafia guys. People just doing their time, watching TV and eating steak. All nonsense, man. This is a gladiator school. This is a place where people are victimized, man. This is a place where only the strong survive, for real, man. The truth stands alone to represent itself. Look at the statistics, man. Check it out. Go on there and Google this stuff, man. See what's really going on. I mean, you know the story of Whitey Bulger. You know the stories of dudes that have been murdered in prison. Murders happen, man. So if you're watching this video right now, man, and you're doing the wrong thing, like I always say, man, it ain't that hard to do the right thing, man. Ask yourself, are you built like that? Are you built for the violence? Are you built for the murders? Are you willing to do what other people are willing to do? Because all that comes with being a drug dealer, man. All that comes with robbing people, man. That's what it is. Do you want to be that dude? If you do, keep doing what you're doing. If you don't, it's time to change your life. It's time to step up, man. It's time to step up and be a real father, be a real man, be a real leader. Leaders breed leaders. Don't ever forget that. Don't be a victim. Don't go to prison and be a victim, man. Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Exclusive content coming this week, I promise.